My name is Glenn Keller, and in this demonstration, we are talking about the Teamcenter 2512 software. And specifically in this demo, we're going to install the local on-prem help. Now, there is a mechanism of installing the documentation server as a proxy server to enable auto access to the online help that's available out there on the Siemens site. In this case, we're going to be focusing more on-prem. Just note that there is a warning with this, as Siemens does update the online help documentation from time to time, and you will want to make sure that you patch the on-prem version of the help docs. So the help documentation provides step-by-step instructions, video demonstrations, all kinds of fun stuff to really supplement and enhance what you are learning here. But just take note that the documentation provided by Siemens should be seen as the first source of information, and then these videos should be supplemental to that. So always refer to them before making decisions in the environment that are going to affect your productivity or your production system. With that being said, just note that Teamcenter 2512 supports the web app or the documentation server for Teamcenter at version 302. So in my installation here, I have downloaded from the downloads on the Siemens site the documentation, which is the actual docs themselves, as well as the help server, the 321 here. And this is greater than the 302 that they list on the site and on the matrix. So I don't have this in my media folder, in my software folder down here, because this software folder is going to get read in by Deployment Center. So I've stored it off in its reference docs folder. Now, there are two components to this. You're going to install your help server, which is going to be a set of services that'll help you search and host the interface. You're going to access it through a browser window, and then you're going to load up docs onto it. This is a very simple install. You're basically going to go to the Siemens site and download the help server. I'm going to run it with my installation user, my InfoDBA user on the environment, and I'm going to install the help server first. So it's got a nice little UI to it. Let me minimize this in the background so you can see. And it's going to open up the interface, the 320 interface, and ask me for what language I would like. They do have support for many different languages in here. I'm going to choose English and choose OK. Now I get this guide that's going to take me through. I'm just going to choose Next. And then I can choose to get shortcuts in my program group, my start menu, on the desktop. I can choose not to create icons to it, or I can choose to create icons for all users. So in my case, I'm going to do a start menu. Notice it's either the new program group or the start menu on the desktop, in the quick launch bar, and I could do it for creating all users, and that way if I had other users on the machine, they'd get instant access to it. I'm going to go ahead and choose Next. Where would you like to install this feature? So in my case, I'm really just changing this program files to apps. And then I can double check that path. You could hit browse, but if I do C apps, Siemens, this is really the location that I want it. Now, I don't want any spaces in my path, and it does automatically provide one. So I'm just going to call this my help server. And then I do like to go ahead and say Siemens Help Server, but since it's already in a Siemens folder, I'm good to go. If I choose Browse here, you can see it opens it up and it's validated. So I'm going to go ahead and choose Next. The application is going to run on these two ports. These are the default ports. So again, if you're worried about security considerations, you may want to find another port that's open and available on your machine. Just note that if you have clients that are trying to access where this is located, you do need to make sure that from those client machines, they have access to this port, whether that's through a proxy, load balancer, or direct. I'm going to go ahead and choose Next. Do you want the documentation server to be accessible over the network? That's a personal choice for your business needs. If you do want it over the network, then you choose yes. And if you don't, you choose no. If I choose Next, it'll say, do you want SSL? SSL is going to provide certs that essentially work against this to validate the software is running on the box. If you say continue with SSL, which will give you an HTTPS address, then you need to select your cert for your machine and then the key. And you can browse to select those. Those will be provided by your certificate authority. In our case, we're doing lowest common denominator, so continue without SSL is what I'm going to choose. It'll summarize the installation for me, and then I'm going to choose install. So this will go through, and you'll actually end up with a new service in here. So this will be the Teamcenter SPLM Lite documentation server. So we'll see once it pops up, we'll investigate the services and just check that everything got put there. You can see this is flashing down below. It's really just this interface because I had selected off of it. And you can see it moves at a pretty good clip while it's going through this installation. So it's running the Elasticsearch server, which will help you search the documentation, and then the interface, the documentation server itself. Once it completes, you should be able to at least reach the documentation server. However, there won't be any documentation on that server just yet. The new Teamcenter documentation server does support hosting the docs from like NX, Teamcenter, etc. So one documentation server should handle a lot of the documentation needs that you have. You just have to identify the specific URLs that'll take you to the landing page of each. We're at 81% here. It's almost complete. It's just wrapping up the final processes. If I come into my services window and hit refresh and go to the T's, notice there are no Teamcenter services. But if I come down, notice it did install this as a Siemens PLM documentation server, and that's because it's not Teamcenter specific. It is up and running, and then in the interface you can see click next to continue. And then it says verify the installation. So this is what I do like to do. Now I know it's running on port 5000, so I could just put the hostname 5000 and an HTTP address. But if I click here to verify the installation, it will open it up. And then I can create a nice little bookmark to this location. So I'm going to say bookmark this. This is my Siemens documentation server. I'm going to hit done. And then you can see I get a link to it. So from there on out, I can come to this page. All right, so the doc server is up and running. I'm going to go ahead and click done here. And then I need to install my help onto that server. So inside of the apps media reference docs, I now have the docs Teamcenter 2512 ENUS. So on the download site, when you're downloading the 2512 media, the docs should be right next to it, and there'll be language support for any language that you're looking for the most part. If I run this now, I'm going to go ahead and run this. Now that the docs server is up and running, this will communicate to the docs server and host those files accordingly. If I run that, I'm going to drag this little window over to the left, and then I'm going to go into the documentation server location, help server, and you can see everything that's here for the help server. And then I'm going to click OK in the documentation installer. It'll tell me and confirm which one I'm running. This helps sometimes when I pick the wrong package. And then I'll choose next. And it's fairly straightforward. So once I choose next, it's just going to read in that documentation and it's going to go through and install it. And you'll see that it's actually adding some additional information here. And what it did was it created a collection. And then the documentation is here. Here's the information that it's putting in here with the localization, and it's beginning to create all of the docs. So once this is done, it should restart everything correctly, and I should be able to access it pretty much right after it completes. Now, the only true test is to restart the machine and make sure it comes back up correctly, but we'll see how it is once this is finished. We're already at roughly 85%-ish. 83, and we should be complete within the next minute or so. Now, this is going to be hosted on that same location. So now that it's finished, it did the pre-installing. So now it's actually going in and installing it. You can see that inside of that same file location, apps, Siemens Help Server, the collections, documentation is still being updated. Before, we had a nice set of docs in here. Now it's going through and it's setting up the indexes for the search and really just making sure everything's running for us. Now, again, this process does not take very long at all to do. You really only have to set it up once as long as you ensure access to this location. Please note that rich clients and active workspace will all have pointers to the docs, so this URL does need to be actively available for pretty much anybody to access it if you want them using that help. A lot of customers will tailor their own process-based help and then only utilize the out-of-the-box stuff on the admin side. If I choose next here, it'll say launch the Siemens documentation server. If I do that, it'll open up the link and you'll see 2512 is here. If you had it open from before, like the other tab, you can see it doesn't show. I simply just need to refresh that browser page. So I'll close one of them, and then you get the 2512 help here, and it goes through, it has all the docs, including the Teamcenter installation using Deployment Center doc, which is the core, or the source for much of the information that we're talking about in these demos. So I now have this here. If I go to the Siemens documentation, notice that URL there only takes me to this page. So if I want the URL to take me to the 2512 help, then I need to do this and favorite that. So this will be the Teamcenter 25 help documentation. And now if I switch between the two, it should take me between them. So now I have the URL I need. So this demo has really taken us through installing that online help so that we can get access to it to link it up to the clients and the server during the installation of Teamcenter. I don't want to cancel this. I just want to click done to complete it. And just note that you do get the service that you'll want to identify whether or not it's running as the correct user. In this case, it's local service by default. All right, well, we hope you enjoyed this video. We'll see you in the next one.